Welcome to Love Lies Chronicles.
I'd really appreciate your comment. It helps me understand if you enjoyed the story and how I can improve in future ones. I refreshed my Instagram feed one more time, knowing I shouldn't, knowing what I'd see would probably ruin what was left of my evening. It was 9:47 p.m. on a Thursday. I was in my home office, supposedly finishing up a code review for work, but really just killing time before bed. The kind of mindless scrolling you do when your brain is too tired for real work, but too wired for sleep. There it was, posted 6 minutes ago. My wife's profile picture. Her smiling in that photo from our trip to Big Sur 2 years ago. The one where she looked genuinely happy, where we both looked genuinely happy, sat above words that made my stomach drop and my chest tighten. Sometimes you realize you're married to a boy, not a man. Need a real man. Over it. Done. I read it 3 times, each time hoping I'd misunderstood. Each time the words stayed exactly the same. 23 likes already. I watched the number tick up to 24, then 25. 8 comments, all sympathetic, all directed at her, all acting like I was the problem that needed solving. Her coworker Madison led the chorus. Girl, yes. You know what you need to do. Another comment from someone I vaguely recognized from her college days. Finally. I've been saying this forever. You deserve so much better. A third. Leave him, sis. Life's too short. I sat there in my home office, the blue light of my laptop illuminating my face, and felt something cold settle in my chest. Not anger. Not the hot, explosive kind of hurt you'd expect. Something sharper. Clearer. 47 mutual friends could see this post. I knew because I checked. 47 people we knew, my family, her family, our college friends from University of Texas, people from work, the couples we had dinner with. All of them could see my wife announcing to the internet that I wasn't man enough for her. And she was downstairs watching Netflix, acting like everything was normal. I could hear the TV through the floor. Some reality show she loved. She had no idea I'd seen it. Probably assumed I was asleep or too absorbed in work to check social media. She was wrong on both counts. This wasn't the first time. That's what made my hands shake as I stared at the screen. 3 weeks ago, we'd gone to Loro on South Lamar for dinner. It was supposed to be a nice evening, warm Austin weather, good food, outdoor seating. We'd talked about work, about weekend plans, about normal couple things. The conversation was pleasant enough. Surface level, maybe, but pleasant. I'd found out later, hours later, when I mindlessly scrolled through Instagram before bed, that she'd posted a photo of her plate with the caption, "Finally a real meal since someone burnt dinner again." The thing was, I hadn't burnt dinner. I'd slightly overcooked chicken 2 nights before because I got distracted by a work call. She'd eaten it. Said it was fine. Never mentioned it again until it became social media content for her 12,000 followers. When I asked her about it the next morning, carefully, trying not to sound accusatory, she'd rolled her eyes so hard I thought they might stick. It's just social media. Don't be weird about it. God, you're so sensitive. I'd not opened Instagram for a week after that, telling myself I was overreacting. Maybe I was being too sensitive. Maybe this was just how people communicated now, through performative posts and carefully curated complaints. 2 weeks ago, we'd hosted game night at our place with 3 other couples from our Zilker neighborhood. Good people, friends we'd known since our University of Texas days. We'd ordered pizza, set up board games, open wine. Normal Friday night stuff. During code names, she'd told this elaborate story about how I tried to fix the sink the previous weekend. Made it sound like I'd created a disaster, flooded the kitchen through sheer male incompetence, turned a simple task into a 3-hour comedy of errors. Everyone laughed, including me, because what else do you do when your spouse makes you the punchline in front of your friends? The truth was different. I tried to tighten a loose connection under the sink, realized it needed a part one didn't have, and called a plumber rather than risk making it worse. Seemed like the responsible move. Not to her. Later that night, after everyone left, after we'd cleaned up the pizza boxes and wine glasses, after I'd locked the door and turned off the lights, she posted an Instagram story. When your husband calls a plumber for a loose screw. I'd watched the view count climb. 43 people. 56. 82. Our friends. My coworkers. Her family. All watching me get mocked by my own wife. I'd said nothing. Went to bed. Let it go. 1 week ago, she posted a gym selfie. Barry's boot camp downtown. Apparently a new routine I didn't know she'd started. The photo was carefully angled, showing her in expensive workout gear, makeup somehow perfect despite the supposed exercise. The caption read, "At least something in my life is getting stronger." Her male trainer was visible in the background, conveniently positioned. Her girlfriends commented immediately, "You deserve better," and "upgrade time," and "that trainer though." I'd screenshot that one, though I wasn't entirely sure why at the time. Maybe I was starting to document the pattern. Maybe I was building evidence for an argument I didn't yet know I'd have. Maybe I just wanted proof that I wasn't imagining it. Now, sitting in my office at 9:47 p.m. on a Thursday, all those moments crystallized into a pattern. This wasn't venting. This wasn't frustration. This was how she saw me. This was what she thought of me. And she had just announced it to everyone we knew. The post had 31 likes now. I watched the number climb. My phone buzzed. "Greg, my best friend since our UT days. Dude, you seeing this?" I didn't respond. I just stared at the screen. She thought I wouldn't see it. Or worse, she thought I'd see it and do nothing. She was counting on my conflict avoidance, on the fact that I'd spent 4 years trying to smooth things over, trying to be good enough, trying to make her happy. She was counting on me to stay silent. I opened the comment box. My first instinct was fury. Pure, hot, unfiltered anger. I typed, "Maybe if you spent less time performing for strangers online and more time being honest with your actual husband, you'd know what a real man looks like." Too angry, too defensive, too much giving her exactly what she wanted. A reaction she could screenshot and show to her friends as proof of my instability. I deleted it. Second attempt. "I'm sorry you feel that way. I've always tried my best to be a good husband. If I've fallen short, I wish you'd told me privately instead of humiliating me publicly." I read it twice and felt sick. Too apologetic. Too much explaining. Too much begging for understanding from someone who had just demonstrated they didn't care about understanding me at all. I deleted that too. Third try. "You want a real man? Someone who communicates honestly? Someone who treats their partner with respect? Someone who doesn't air private relationship issues to social media for validation? Yeah, me too. Maybe we both deserve better than what we've become." Still too long. Too explanatory. Still playing defense when I should be walking away from the game entirely. I sat back in my chair, stared at the ceiling, and thought about what I actually wanted to accomplish. Did I want to hurt her back? Did I want to defend myself? Did I want to explain to 47 mutual friends why I was actually a decent person? No. I wanted her to feel what I'd felt. I wanted her to understand what it's like when someone weaponizes your private life for public consumption. I wanted her to panic the way I'd panicked. I wanted her to scramble the way I'd scrambled, checking to see who had seen it, wondering what people thought, trying to calculate the social damage. I wanted to use her own platform, her own tactics, against her. More than that, I wanted it to be true. Or true enough. I wanted to say something that would force me to follow through, that would burn the bridge so completely there'd be no crawling back, no smoothing it over, no pretending this was just another rough patch we'd survive. After 15 minutes of staring at the blinking cursor, I typed, "Update. Found a real man. Mature, respectful, treats me like a partner. She's moving in next week. Thanks for the clarity on what you actually need. Divorce papers coming Monday." I read it 5 times. Checked every word. The "she's" was deliberate. Let everyone wonder. Let her scramble to figure out what I meant. Let her feel the confusion and panic of not controlling the narrative. The "moving in next week" gave it urgency and specificity, made it sound concrete and planned rather than reactionary. The "thanks for the clarity" was passive-aggressive enough to sting, but polite enough to seem reasonable. The "divorce papers coming Monday" put a timeline on consequences. The prayer hands emoji was the finishing touch. Peaceful, grateful, done. It wasn't entirely true. There was no she. There were no divorce papers drafted yet. But it would be true. I'd make it true. This comment was my point of no return. At 9:58 p.m., I hit post. I watched my comment appear beneath her post. Then I screenshot it, put my phone face down on my desk, and went back to work. Or tried to. My phone buzzed at 10:01 p.m. Once. Again. Multiple buzzes in rapid succession. My phone was practically vibrating off the desk. "Wife" showed up on my caller ID. I let it ring. Heard the voicemail notification. Heard footsteps running up the stairs. Heard her voice outside my office door. "Are you in there? Your light's on. Pick up your phone." I stayed silent. Kept my eyes on my laptop screen. though I wasn't reading anything anymore. She didn't try the door. It was locked. She didn't know that yet. 10:07 p.m. The text started. Call me right now. This isn't funny. You need to delete that comment immediately. Everyone is asking me questions. You're embarrassing me. I didn't read them in the moment. Just watch the notifications pile up. My phone buzzed again. Greg, holy shit, dude, followed by, she's freaking out in the comments before deleting, and Madison just posted OMG with screenshot. Then, this is legendary. You okay? I still didn't respond. 10:09 p.m. Her text shifted tone. Okay, I'm sorry. Can we talk about this? That post was just me venting. You know I didn't mean it. Please take down your comment. Please. People are calling me. My mom just called me. The knocking on my office door got louder. I know you're awake. I can see the light under the door. 10:10 p.m. Reality was setting in for her. Wait. Who's moving in? What do you mean she? You're making things up to hurt me. There's no one else. You're lying to embarrass me. This is emotional abuse. I opened my phone for the first time since posting. Typed one word, exactly. Didn't elaborate. Put the phone in my desk drawer. The threats arrived. My dad's lawyer is going to call you. You can't just put our private business online. I'll sue you for defamation. Everyone thinks you're having an affair now. You've ruined my reputation. How could you do this to me? I noted that every single message was about her. Not one asked how I felt. Not one acknowledged what her post had said about me. Not one included an actual apology for the humiliation she'd tried to make public. The pattern was clear now. Crystal clear. 10:14 p.m. The banging on the door got violent. Open this door. We need to talk about this like adults. You can't just ignore me. This is our house. Then fine. Stay in there. But this isn't over. Footsteps retreating. Doors slamming downstairs. Car starting. Car leaving. Silence. 8 minutes. That's how long it took from my comment to her panic. 8 minutes for her carefully constructed public image to crack. 8 minutes for her to feel a fraction of what I'd felt finding that post. 8 minutes for 47 mutual friends to screenshot everything before she could delete it and pretend it never happened. But in those 8 minutes, entire worlds shifted. Minute 1, my phone stayed silent. She probably hadn't checked yet. Probably still scrolling through supportive comments on her post, basking in the validation. Minute 2, first buzz. Then silence. I imagined her seeing it, reading it once, reading it again, trying to process what I'd written. Minute 3, 3 buzzes in quick succession. The reality setting in. The screenshot starting. Minute 4, my phone vibrated continuously for 20 seconds straight. The panic spreading. Her friends seeing it. Her family seeing it. The group chats exploding. Minute 5, the call started. I watched wife appear on my screen. Let it ring. Watched it go to voicemail. Minute 6, footsteps pounding up the stairs. Her voice in the hallway, shrill and desperate. Are you in there? Your light's on. Pick up your phone. The door handle rattled. Locked. She didn't know I'd locked it. Minute 7, the texts came in floods. I didn't read them individually, just watched the notification count climb. 5, 10, 15, 20. Minute 8, her first panic call. My phone screen lighting up with her name. The sound of her fist pounding on my office door. Pick up the phone. That's all it took. 8 minutes for her world to realize what mine had known for months. 8 minutes for public humiliation to feel different when you're the one experiencing it. I finally opened my phone drawer at 10:15 p.m. 47 texts from her. 23 from friends and family. 8 missed calls. Voicemails I'd never listened to. Instagram DMs from people I barely knew. I opened Greg's messages first. She deleted her post, but everyone got screenshots. Madison posted the whole exchange before she deleted it too. Your comment has 89 likes now. People are asking if you're okay. Some mutual friends are unfollowing her. Her mom commented before the delete. Call me immediately. Dude, you finally did it. You finally stood up to her. Also, bro, is there actually someone else? That's cold as hell if there is. Wait, is she code for something? Are you saying you're the real man? Okay, I'm calling you. I typed back. Not standing up. Just standing aside. There's a difference. Talk tomorrow. I opened Instagram. Her original post was gone. My comment was still visible on my own profile. Someone had quote tweeted it on Twitter. A friend sent me a Reddit link. Someone had posted the whole exchange. Screenshots everywhere. You can't put toothpaste back in the tube. I didn't want to. It was 11:47 p.m. She hadn't come back. I went to our bedroom. Her makeup scattered on the bathroom counter. Clothes draped over the chair. Phone charger on her nightstand. Everything suddenly looked temporary. I realized I'd been sleeping next to a stranger for months, maybe longer. I packed a bag for the weekend. Texted my sister Amy in San Antonio. Can I stay with you this weekend? Her response came immediately. Saw the post. Doors always open. Proud of you. I grabbed a pillow and went to the couch. For the first time in months, maybe years, I fell asleep easily. She came home at 6:45 a.m. I was already showered, dressed, bag packed by the door. I'd been up since 5, unable to sleep past the first light of dawn. She looked like she hadn't slept at all. Makeup smeared, mascara creating dark shadows under her eyes. Yesterday's clothes wrinkled and stale. Madison's couch, probably. That's where she always went when we fought. We need to talk about last night. She started immediately, her voice sharp and brittle with exhaustion and barely contained fury. I kept making coffee, moving through our kitchen like she wasn't blocking the doorway. The routine calmed me. Grounds, water, press the button, wait. Normal actions in an abnormal morning. You made me look like a fool, she continued, voice rising. Do you have any idea what you've done? My entire family is calling me. My dad called me. At midnight. Do you know what that's like? People at work are going to see this. My boss follows me on Instagram. You humiliated me in front of everyone. Everyone. I poured coffee into my travel mug, added cream the way I'd done 1,000 mornings before, stirred slowly with a spoon that clinked against the metal sides. I posted a comment on social media. I said, voice calm, measured, practiced. I'd rehearsed this. Just like you did. That's completely different. How? How? She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. How is it different? Are you serious right now? I vented about being frustrated. You lied. You made up some other woman. You made everyone think you're cheating. You made everyone think our marriage is over. You filed for divorce without even discussing it. Haven't filed yet, I said, taking a sip of coffee. Still too hot. But I will. Monday, like I said. This is insane. You're being insane. I set down my mug and looked at her directly for the first time that morning. Really looked at her. Saw the desperation in her eyes, the fear beneath the anger, the dawning realization that I wasn't going to back down this time. I posted a comment on social media. I repeated, just like you did. Difference is, I meant what I said. There is no other woman. She was nearly shouting now. You made that up to hurt me. Did I? Oh my God. Are you seriously? Is there someone else? Tell me right now if there's someone else. I picked up my bag. I'm staying at my sister's this weekend. We can talk when you're ready to be honest. About everything. Not just last night. Her expression shifted, softened, the anger giving way to what might have been genuine fear. Or maybe just fear of consequences. With her, it was hard to tell anymore. Okay, she said, voice dropping to something almost pleading. Okay, I shouldn't have posted that. I was frustrated. I was venting to my friends. I didn't think you'd see it. You posted it publicly. To Instagram. Where 47 of our mutual friends could see it. Where my family could see it. Where people I work with could see it. I shook my head. You didn't think I'd see it, or you didn't care if I did. I don't know. I wasn't thinking clearly. I'm sorry. Sorry that you did it, or sorry that I called you out. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Couldn't answer. That's what I thought, I said quietly. I moved toward the door. She stepped in front of it, blocking my path with her body. You can't just leave. We're married. We made vows. We work through things. This is what children do. They run away when things get hard. Something in me snapped. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just a clean break. Like a bone that's been cracked and finally gives way. Then I guess you've been married to a child? I said, voice steady and cold. Should be used to it by now. It's what you've been telling everyone, right? That's not. I didn't mean. Sometimes you realize you're married to a boy, not a man. I quoted her exact words. Those were your words. Posted publicly. For everyone to see. So yeah, I guess you have been married to a child. And now you're free to find that real man you need. I stepped around her. She grabbed my arm, fingers digging in hard enough to leave marks. Who is she? She demanded, desperation making her voice crack. Tell me who she is. I deserve to know who you're leaving me for. I looked at her hand on my arm, looked at her face, contorted with fear and anger and something that might have been heartbreak if I could still tell the difference. I said simply. I'm the person I should have been all along. The person who doesn't let themselves be treated like this. The person who respects themselves enough to leave when respect stops being mutual. I pulled my arm free gently but firmly. She didn't fight it. I'm done being your joke. Your punching bag. Your source of social media content. I'm done trying to be good enough for someone who broadcasts to the world that I'm not. I walked out the door, got in my car, drove away. She didn't follow. In my rearview mirror, I saw her standing in the doorway of our house. Her house now, really, watching me leave. She looked small and lost and shocked, like she'd poked a sleeping dog her whole life and couldn't believe it had finally bitten back. But I hadn't bitten. I just stopped letting her pet me while she complained to everyone else about how badly trained I was. The weekend at Amy's place was quiet. She didn't ask many questions, just made space for me to exist without performing or explaining. But the outside world was loud. By Friday afternoon, my wife had posted an Instagram story. Coffee cup, moody lighting, carefully curated sadness. Caption, sometimes the people you trust most. Hashtag heartbroken, hashtag betrayal hurts. Comments flooded in, all supporting her. She was controlling the narrative again, playing the victim perfectly. Greg texted, she's going hard with the wounded wife act. I changed my Facebook relationship status from married to nothing. Let her perform for whatever audience she needed. I wasn't watching anymore. The friend divide happened quickly. 3 couples from our group unfollowed both of us. 2 others reached out privately, supportive messages I hadn't expected. One of her college friends sent me a long DM. We always knew she treated you badly. I'm sorry we never said anything. Why didn't you? I asked. We thought you knew and didn't care. I hadn't known everyone could see it. I thought I'd been hiding it well. Saturday night, Madison sent me a message I wasn't expecting. I shouldn't send this, but... Screenshot of texts between her and my wife from Thursday night. I don't know who he thinks he is. He'll come crawling back in a week. I'll make him delete it and apologize publicly. My dad's lawyer said we can prove defamation. Madison's message continued. Thought you should know what she's planning. She's not who I thought she was. I thanked her, saved the screenshots. Greg drove from Houston on Saturday, brought beer and pizza. We watched the Longhorns game at Alamo Beer Company. First time I'd relaxed in months. So, is there actually someone else? He asked during halftime. No, but her assuming there is tells you everything. The she comment was genius though. Wasn't trying to be clever, I said. Just done being the villain in her story. Sunday evening, reality loomed. I had to go home eventually. I texted her, coming back Sunday night. Need to figure out logistics. Her response, good. We have a lot to discuss. Amy hugged me at the door. You can stay here as long as you need. I know, but I need to face this. Not going back to reconcile. Going back to separate. The difference was everything. I arrived home at 8 p.m. She was waiting in the living room, papers spread across the coffee table. Screenshots, printed DMs, a whole presentation prepared. Sit down, she said. We need to talk. I stayed standing. She launched into her speech. How I'd embarrassed her. How I'd violated her trust. How couples work through things privately. How my comment was cruel and calculated and designed to hurt her. I let her finish. Then I pulled a business card from my pocket and placed it on top of her papers. I've contacted a divorce attorney. Here's their info if you want separate representation. Her face went white. You're not serious. I'm completely serious. This is about that stupid comment. No, this is about what that comment represented. The first week was suffocating. We coexisted in frozen silence. I moved to the guest room. She kept trying to initiate conversations about counseling, about her therapist, about how I was overreacting. I responded minimally, focused on work and the boxing classes I'd started at Third Space on South Congress. First time in years I felt like myself. Just me, hitting bags, not trying to be enough for someone who'd never think I was. Friday night she went out with friends, posted Instagram stories I didn't see. Greg sent screenshots, bars, drinks, living my best life, aesthetic. I stayed home, read a book, felt peaceful for the first time in months. Week 2 brought anger. You're throwing away 4 years. My family thinks you're having a breakdown. Everyone's asking what's wrong with you. Week 3 brought bargaining. I'll delete all my social media. We can start fresh. Just give us another chance. My response never changed. I've made my decision. This isn't negotiable. We can do this amicably or not, but it's happening. My calm certainty terrified her more than yelling would have. I consulted with an attorney, opened a separate bank account, started apartment hunting. Found a one-bedroom near Barton Springs. Perfect. Small. Completely mine. When I told my parents, they were supportive in a way that surprised me. We were worried, my mom said, but we didn't want to interfere. Everyone had seen it coming except me. Week 4, she started monitoring everything. Checked my phone when I showered. Asked about my schedule constantly. Where are you going? Who are you meeting? Why are you dressed nice? I answered truthfully. Jim. Greg. Because I felt like it. No defensiveness. Nothing to hide. Not because I was perfect, but because I was done hiding. Her social media spiral intensified. More cryptic posts. Photos with male coworkers. Girls' night pictures. All designed to provoke jealousy. I didn't follow her anymore. Greg kept me updated. She's spiraling. Week 5, she asked to meet at Houndstooth Coffee on North Lamar. Public place, her suggestion. I've been thinking a lot, she said, cupping her latte with both hands. I realize I took you for granted. I want to fight for us. I appreciate that, I said. But I don't. You don't even want to try? I did try. For 4 years. Now I'm trying something different. What's that? Choosing myself. She cried. I didn't comfort her. Not cruel. Just boundaried. I left $5 for my coffee and walked out. Weeks 6 through 8 became about practical preparation. I signed the lease on my new place in Zilker Park. Modern, minimal, completely mine. Move-in date. Exactly 8 weeks after the comment. Her final attempts intensified. Therapy offers came too late. Promises to change felt empty. Threats about making the divorce difficult showed me I'd made the right choice. Questions about whether I was seeing someone missed the point entirely. The Friday before moving day, she went out again. I stayed home packing the last boxes. Found our wedding album. Both of us smiling. First apartment. Trips. Holidays. All real once. When did it stop? Gradually, then suddenly. Like Hemingway's bankruptcy. One small disrespect at a time until the foundation cracked. The post didn't break us. It just revealed we were already broken. 7 weeks after the comment, our friends Taylor and Jordan hosted a dinner party at their place in Clarksville. They invited both of us. Awkward but intentional. I almost declined. Then decided I had nothing to hide. She was already there when I arrived, dressed up, hair perfect, surrounded by sympathetic friends. She saw me. Her expression flickered. I nodded politely, grabbed a beer, joined a different group. 12 people total. 8 knew about the post. 4 didn't yet. She worked the room, laughing loud. I'm doing great. So great. Thriving, actually. I stayed quiet, comfortable, not performing anything. Just existing. She approached with Madison. Can we talk outside? I think we should tell everyone we're working on things, she said, voice low. People are worried. I'm not working on things, I said at normal volume. Nearby conversation stopped. People turned. Her face flushed. You're doing this here? Now. You asked me here. I answered honestly. Madison tried to intervene. Taylor suggested everyone give us space. My wife laughed, forced. He's always so dramatic lately. I didn't respond. Got another beer. Started talking to someone about Longhorns basketball. She stood there, Madison leading her away. The room felt the shift. Everyone could tell. I wasn't the same man she'd embarrassed 8 weeks ago. I left after 90 minutes. Thanked the hosts, said goodbye to everyone. Didn't announce I was leaving. Just went. She watched from the kitchen. Didn't follow. Knew she couldn't. Moving day came on a Saturday morning. Movers arrived at 8 a.m. She stayed in the bedroom, didn't come out. I heard her crying as furniture left, as boxes shuffled, as the door opened and closed. I did a final walkthrough. Everything I wanted was loaded. House keys on the kitchen counter. Wedding ring beside them. A note. Divorce papers filed. Your copy with attorney. I didn't sign my name. It wasn't needed. I paused at the bottom of the stairs, heard her crying, considered going up. Didn't. Not to be cruel. Because there was nothing left to say. Everything had been said in that comment 8 weeks ago. Everything had changed in those 8 minutes. I drove to my new apartment, following the moving truck. Keys in hand. Phone buzzed. Text from her. I hope you're happy. I parked at my new building, Looked at the message. Typed, "I'm getting there." Sent it. Blocked the number. Not out of anger. Out of necessity. Out of self-preservation. Out of kindness to both of us. The movers unloaded quickly. I tipped them well. Stood in my empty apartment. Boxes everywhere. Peaceful silence. I opened the window. Heard Zilker traffic. Smelled food trucks. Took a deep breath. That night, I slept on an air mattress. Best sleep in years. 1 month later, the divorce was proceeding smoothly. Uncontested once she realized I meant it. Assets split fairly. No drama. Just paperwork. Greg visited every other weekend. Amy checked in daily. I made new friends at the boxing gym. Old friends reached out more. "We missed you," they said. I hadn't realized I'd disappeared. Too busy trying to be good enough for someone who would never think I was. 3 months after everything started, I reactivated Instagram. Posted one photo. Me at Mount Bunnell, overlooking the Austin sunset. Caption, "Found the real man I needed. Took 32 years, but worth the wait." Comments flooded in, all positive. The post got more likes than anything I'd ever shared. She viewed it. I could tell from the anonymous view. I blocked her. Didn't need to know if she saw. Didn't matter anymore. One evening, working late at my apartment, my phone buzzed. Calendar reminder. Greg had set me up on a blind date for tomorrow. I was nervous, but open. Not looking for a replacement. Not trying to prove anything. Just ready. Ready to be seen. Ready to be appreciated. Ready to be myself. She'd once asked me, during one of our fights, what kind of man walks away from a marriage. I didn't have an answer then. I do now. The kind who realizes that staying would mean losing himself completely. The kind who understands that sometimes love isn't enough when respect is absent. The kind who knows that real man doesn't mean what she thought it meant. Real men don't stay in situations that diminish them. Real men don't sacrifice their dignity for temporary peace. Real men know when to fight and when to walk away. I walked away, and in doing so, I finally became the man I was always meant to be. Not the man she needed me to be. Not the man her social media required. Not the man who bent himself into shapes to fit her story. Just me. Turns out, that was enough all along. I just needed to believe it. She posted, "Need a real man. Looking for sympathy, looking for validation, looking for attention." I commented back with the truth. And 47 mutual friends watched me set myself free. 8 minutes to panic. 8 weeks to freedom. 32 years to learn the most important lesson. You can't love someone into respecting you. They either do or they don't. She didn't. I do. And that made all the difference.
Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.